decision by President Uhuru Kenyatta to set up a tribunal to investigate 6 members of the Judicial Service Commission has now sucked the executive into the turf wars between Parliament and Judiciary on the separation of powers between the 3 arms of government. Early this month, Parliament defied a High Court order stopping debate on the Judicial Service Commission and passed a motion asking President Uhuru Kenyatta to have the 6 JSC commissioners investigated for gross misconduct. Now, there now appears to be confusion as members of the Executive Council of the Kenya Magistrate and Judges Association expressed concern that the President's move, quote, totally paralyzes the institution of the judiciary. Patrick Amimo has more.
On 6th November this year, High Court Judge George Odunga issued orders stopping members of the National Assembly from discussing a report of the House Committee on Legal Affairs, which recommended suspension of 6 members of the Judicial Service Commission and the President appointed a tribunal to investigate them. Ruling on a petition presented before him by the JSC, Judge Odunga cited Article 165 subsection 6 of the Constitution and said a departmental committee of the National Assembly, when exercising quasi-judicial powers as opposed to legislative powers, is subject to the supervisory jurisdiction of the High Court. But defying the High Court order, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, ruled that the fact that a House acted in violation of its own rules or violation of parliamentary law in a matter clearly within its power does not make its action subject to review by the courts. The Speaker added that should a court clothe itself the powers of the legislature and purport to make determination on matters relating to procedures of a House or the Houses of Parliament and therefore question the supremacy of Parliament, then such a determination will only be in vain.
But I think it's been subjugated by the JSC to the extent that he issues those orders that he has issued. And we can't obey those orders.
When the supremacy battle between Parliament and Judiciary reached boiling point and MPs passed the motion demanding the President appoints a tribunal to investigate gross misconduct of the 6 commissioners, the Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution urged President Uhuru to convene a meeting to reconcile the 2 arms of government and find a workable solution. Indeed, the President mid this month met Chief Justice Dr. Willy Mutunga, who is JSC's chairperson, and National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi at State House Nairobi to find a workable solution. But Uhuru's move to appoint a tribunal to investigate the 6 JSC commissioners has thrown the 3 arms of government in confusion on separation of powers.
Our concern is the impact of this decision in the functioning of the judiciary.
The JSC might decide to prosecute the matter to the Supreme Court since it holds the opinion that Parliament's decision is null and void and disobeyed a court ruling. This could worsen tough wars.
There is a very intricate design, the constitutional architecture of the Kenyan Constitution that allows each arm of government to be checked by the other 2 arms of government in different ways. So the judiciary, for example, checks the executive by passing decisions against the executive, by subjecting them to court process. And of course, the judiciary is checked by the executive because the President is involved in the process of appointment of judges.
There's going to be a prolonged stalemate. I can guarantee you that most likely than not, those 6 members of the Judicial Service Commission or the Judicial Service Commission itself is going to proceed and file a suit in court to challenge and stop that tribunal from proceeding with this work.
Ford Kenya leader Moses Wetangula and Siaya Senator James Orengo have also waded into the debate.
The provisions that he invoked to send the 6 commissioners home gave him a discretion not to suspend the 6 commissioners.
It is a matter that needs to be addressed urgently before it explodes into a full-blown constitutional crisis. Patrick Amimo,